this morning. A move in the media world making some waves here. Our parent company, Comcast, just announced that it plans to split into two publicly traded companies by spinning off NBCUniversal and the British broadcaster Sky. That company will continue to produce media and entertainment, allowing Comcast to focus on its broadband business. This follows Comcast's spinoff of other cable networks, including CNBC and MS Now, into a new separate company, Versant. For more on this, let's bring in NBC News business and data correspondent Brian Cheung. Brian, good morning.
Morning.
Interesting news for us all to wake up to this morning
yeah.
as employees of this company, at least at this moment. What more can you tell us about the split and what investors are saying?
Yeah, certainly making waves in this building where our parent company is NBCUniversal and its parent company is Comcast, but also making waves to the overall media industry and what has been another big story of a large change in the corporate structure of this massive media company. Again, what we're talking about here is Comcast saying that they're going to split off their media and entertainment business. That would be NBCUniversal. That would include our news arm as well as the entertainment side of NBC, the TV shows that are produced by that particular network, as well as the Universal side of things, the theme parks, the movie studios. That spinoff will also include the British broadcaster Sky. As you mentioned, Comcast, on the other hand, is going to maintain its broadband wireless entertainment platforms. Obviously, you people have purchased Xfinity, know and are familiar with that side of the business. But this transaction, the company says, will take about a year, so it's not something that's going to happen immediately. And I think importantly, the company Comcast will continue to have a roughly 20%, it's less than 20% stake in NBCUniversal after that spinoff is done. There's also some leadership changes. Mike Cavanaugh, currently the co-CEO of Comcast, is going to become the CEO of the new NBCUniversal business. But Savannah, this is just an extension of what has been a big change, a big game of musical chairs, if you will, in the media industry. We have the Warner Brothers Discovery tie-up with Paramount and Skydance also teaming up. Netflix at one point was involved in some of those merger talks. And so, of course, there's a lot going on here. You imagine this is going to perhaps set up NBCUniversal for maybe even acquisition down the line. That's something I know analysts are thinking about. But again, this is a merger that's not, or rather, this is a spinoff that's not going to happen immediately. The company's saying it's going to take roughly a year or so.
Yeah, I was just actually going to ask you about the potential then for NBCUniversal to be purchased by somebody else. A lot of times when you see a spinoff happening, when something is consolidated into the smaller company, that is potentially the intention down the road. Is that what we think here?
Yeah, and again, I think with regards to the Comcast corporate history, we have to remember that it wasn't long ago that they did another spinoff as well. Versant, as you mentioned, that is the current company that has brands like CNBC as well as MS Now. They were spun off. It was only about a year ago that finished. And so we haven't seen Versant get acquired by another company. But of course, that is always the talking point. I mean, I think you have to rewind to the AT&T spinoff of Time Warner for a comparison here. In that case, it was also a cable company that rolled off a substantial amount of media and entertainment assets. And Time Warner ultimately got bought up by Warner Brothers Discovery. Then they were purchased by Paramount, and now Paramount is merging with Skydance. And so you can just see how it's a game of football in some cases with media and acquisition in this space. But again, this is something that we'll be watching very closely, especially here in this building.
No kidding. Certainly is. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate it.
We thank you for watching. And remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.